Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jeanette Sakay, and I am going to be having the pleasure of moderating today the discussion that we're going to have. And I want to thank you very much, under the circumstances, especially for your willingness to participate and join us. The purpose of the session, as you may have heard in the invitation that you got, excuse me, is to get your input about some of your perceptions and priorities, perceptions about Schoolcraft College, and also get feedback from you on your priorities for various groups in the Schoolcraft community on a few topics. We're doing a few sessions actually throughout the week. Originally, as you may know, they would have been live, but now are being done through streaming, which I hope will work out for everybody. The purpose of doing the sessions is the findings will be summarized and provide guidance ultimately for the search committee and the board of trustees as they proceed with the search for a new president for Schoolcraft College. It's basically an informal session. I've got questions. I'm going to put them out to you one at a time, and then I'm going to ask you to input your answers and comments through, and I'll be able to read them on the rolling text, and you'll also be able to see what other people are saying. Basically, it's your session, so I'm here to listen and to learn from you. The good news is there are no necessarily right or wrong answers. It's really your perceptions and ideas. That's why we're asking each one of you to participate and to give us that feedback. I want to ask you also to read the comments that other people on the call will make, and to feel free to both agree and disagree with each other. You're all different individuals, different backgrounds, perceptions, experiences, priorities. So while you may totally agree on some points, you may find that you have different points of view on others. So I want to hear all of the different opinions that you have. And we don't have to reach consensus by any means. I will ask you, just for the sake of brevity, to make your comments as succinct as possible as you write them, but I do want you to be complete in your answers. And I'd like all of you to participate on all the various questions. And if somebody's already made a comment that you totally agree with, you can just say you agree with that person rather than writing it again, unless you want to put a different little spin on it, and that's also perfectly good. It's also important for you to know that even though your names will appear up in the text boxes, if you will, that your comments will not be associated as we do our summary with you by name. We're really more interested in the ideas that come from you in the other sessions as a group, not in who says what. So essentially we have a chat room format today, and you'll be able to respond to the questions by typing and then sending your responses using your keyboard. That way we can all share your input. It's also important to note that if you're having any technical issues, that there's an email address where you can get help from Michelle, who's a member of the Schoolcraft staff. Her address should be on the bottom of the screen. If you think of anything after the session or didn't have time or opportunity to write down all your thoughts on the chat, feel free to email Barb McNamara, who's on my staff, and her email address is also on the bottom of the screen. And you could do that over the next day or so. What I'd like to do, so that I can know who's out there with us today, let's start with asking you to type in your first name and the town where you live. If you don't see your input come up on the chat stream, please contact our technical support person, Michelle. Okay, I'm not seeing any messages, and I'm wondering if that's meaning that somebody's having trouble coming on line. I'm gonna wait a minute. Okay, I see one coming in, and you're Christopher from Livonia. Okay, we have somebody else coming in, and as a test. Okay. Okay, Christopher, it looks like it's you and some of the folks from Schoolcraft that are on. And I'm wondering if we just want to wait a couple of more minutes, what do we think? Or just go on with making this really a one-on-one with you, Chris, and the rest of the folks can join in. Okay, thank you. Michelle has just signed in. Okay, well, Chris, let's start with you, May, if it's okay for me to call you Chris, or if you prefer to be Christopher. I'm Jeanette. What I'd like to do is to have you keep in mind the mission of the college. And Schoolcraft is a comprehensive, open-door, community-based college. Okay, this is the formal mission. The mission of the college is to provide a transformational learning experience designed to increase the capacity of individuals and groups to achieve intellectual, social, and economic goals. So keeping that in mind, I wonder, maybe I could ask you, Christopher, what is your experience with Schoolcraft? Why are you interested in them? Have you been involved with the school in some way? Oh, okay. So you are a member of the staff, I'm being told here. Based on your perception as a staff member, what do you see as the major strengths, or another way to put it is the most positive attributes or characteristics of Schoolcraft College that you think are something that should be built upon in the future? Major strengths. Just type in your thoughts as they come to mind. And maybe you could put a few words around what you see as the main strengths and explain what you mean by it. Why is it important or relevant to you? Okay, Christopher, I'm not seeing any reaction from you. Are you still there? Okay, oh, here we go. Okay, well, maybe though, given that you're observing it, would you be willing to let me have you be a little bit of a guinea pig and maybe put in, from your point of view, what you would see as some of the strengths? Okay, I'm getting a message from Michelle, so bear with me a moment. Let's see how. Okay, we may not have gotten in any members of our community. If anybody has come in recently, since the beginning, if you could just send me a name and what town you live in, then I'll know if you're here. Can we tell if there are any other people out there who might be having trouble getting the chat going?
Everything is working on our end.
No, they're in though.
I can't control
Can you tell how
anything
many
that happens.
people maybe are on?
It's just there are 8 people watching now. We were up to 9 just a minute ago.
Okay, so we have a couple of people out there that might be members of the community. If you are having trouble, could you look at Michelle Stando and Stando's address there and email her? let her know you're having trouble? Jeff, would the people who are out there see that there are 9 people on?
They would, yes.
If anybody else is out there watching, please send just your first name and where you're from so we'll know you're here. Okay, well, we're going to stay with this for a little while longer to see if anybody has joined us since we started. And if you have, would you kindly send us your first name and the town where you live? Well, we're at the moment waiting to see if any other folks have come on board with us before we get started.
Yeah. Are we actually, can you talk or no?
We're still on live.
You are live still?
Yeah.
We're going to be live until at least
Yeah,
6 o'clock.
Michelle would like to wait a little bit longer, so Michelle, we definitely will wait to see if we have any other folks come in. Meanwhile, I'm Jeanette here at beautiful Schoolcraft College. We are having a socially distant streaming session. Hoping that if any other people have joined us, that they will sign on and just let us know their first name and what town they live in. If you've just come on, if you would let me know that you're here, would you please send me a note signing into the chat room and let me know that you're there. And I can bring you up to date on where we are so far. Does it show any other people have come on since that number is still holding an 8? If anybody has joined us in the last couple of minutes, if you would kindly sign in and let me know your first name and what town you're calling in from. And if you're having any problems with technical issues trying to sign in and share your chats, you could contact Michelle Stando at Schoolcraft. It's mstando@schoolcraft.edu. That's M-S like Sam, T for Tom, A-N-D-O at schoolcraft.edu. And that address and email address should be at the bottom of your screen. If you don't see it, you may have to scroll down. She said that she'd like to just wait another minute or two.
Okay, absolutely.
So whenever you're ready, Michelle, you let us know. No new people have signed on. Can you tell when somebody's dropped other than see the number change? Or if somebody's come on board?
It says, it'll give a current update is like how many people are currently watching. It's going between 8 and 9 right now. So people are either coming on or off or seeing what's going on.
Okay, well, let me ask if anybody has come on board in the last couple of minutes. If you would kindly sign in to the chat room with your first name and your the town where you live. Then we'll know you're there. Thank you, Christopher. Okay, well, this has been wonderful for those of you who have been out there. I see there are 9 people with us, and I want to thank you very much for coming on board. Unfortunately, I guess the word is got mixed up with a lot of other media these days, probably. And I want to thank you for your time and being here, and we will sign off. Goodbye, and have a safe and healthy day.